Right, here we go. It's cold, but it's a Friday, so let's burn this bitch up. Get the chi throwing. Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Oh, my spider knows it's a timer. Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo. It's painting goo. Where will we go? What we go is up to you. Actually, it's not. It's up to the hat. It's not up to you. Or me. It's up to the hat. I fucked that one up. It sounded good though. But just because it sounds good doesn't mean it is good. Has to make sense. Things making sense on painting goo. I'm ranting now. Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Oh, my chi is beginning to fro. Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo. It's painting goo. Where will we go? Nobody knew. What we go? Ah, I think I found it. Painting goo. Where will we go? What will we go? Oh, my shoulders are quite stiff. Oh, but the chi is throwing. Is Reich Gracier, but it is throwing. Painting goo. Goo, goo, goo. Painting goo. Where's my sip sip? Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo goo goo. It's painting fucking goo. What will we go? Painting goo. What will we go? Nobody knew where we go. Or what we go. Nobody knew on painting goo. What the fuck are we going? Painting goo. Goo 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 goo. Zip. That's it, Myro. Bring it home. So beautiful. Painting goo. Painting goo. It's a painting goo. Oh, glorious. Oh, stretch of the spider. Oh. Because for the next 3 or so hours, I'm going to be sitting on my demi-divine ass. Entertaining you, 30 mortars. So, you know the drill. If you have any honor, pay the fucking monkey. See the bowl? Right. Welcome to another glorious episode of Painting Goo with I, your illustrious host, Demigod of Painting Goo, Defender Osama, joined, of course, by the Painting Goo posse. Tobias, Boris, Garos is over there. Fuck him. Nobody cares about Boris. I mean, Garos. We love you, Boris. Our resident cartographer, Boris, is. Obviously, Tobias has something to do with the dong. We call it a dong. Why? Because it's not a gong, and it doesn't go gong. It goes... That's not a gong. It goes ding. So it's a dong. It's my tiny dong. Right. As I said, into proper painting goo posture, we shall see. how stiff the stool is today. Not too bad. There was a bit of friction, but smooth enough. Oh, unlike my spine and shoulders, my posture is not good today. A moment. My chi is beginning to fro. Woo! Be grateful. It is not a smell-o-vision. Barbecue chicken. Not the water, the burp. Right! It's Friday. We have a Racoon ordering an airstrike in Panama to paint. Ladies and gentlemen, my beloved Japanites, Margie-osama, Stabaro-sama, Griffo-sama, Desmond-sama, Emmanuel-sama. Welcome to PEINTEINGU, my royal Japanita. Today, why is my mouse not clicking? Why is it not clicking? Crick, you fuck. There we go. Right. This message made me laugh. Welcome to Super Terrific Fun Timer Happy Hour with your host, Defenderu. That's bordering on cringe so hard that it's hilarious. Welcome to a Super Terrific Fun Time Happy. Not super terrific fun happy time. Or happy fun time. Super terrific fun time happy. Oh fuck. That's like, oh. That, like, I had to suppress that because, like, I was nearly just gonna piss myself laughing through the whole intro. As it was a brilliant too, very funny. Glorious. Right. Oh, my shoulders. They do not know it is a timer for the goo. My spine does. My shoulders. My shoulders are rebelling. Oh, my traps. Oh, truly, I am carrying far too much tension. In my traps, I must relax. So much stress. Must relax. You have no idea the stress of being a demigod. You have no idea what it is like being down here with you rot. As you rot. With you rot as you rot. In sin. All I did was do as I do. I did a PEINTEINGU. It is not my fault that the Monkey King did not expect me to be accurate. It is also not my fault that nobody in Chinese heaven knew how small his penis was. The truth sometimes comes at a cost. My cost, banishment from Chinese heaven. It has been stressful. Although I am still welcome in Valhalla. And the other ones. What's the African one? They don't even have dragons. Shame. Shameful. Trinona ma makara. Konasatatudish. Tom Gama. Makara. Tom Gama. Oh. Konasawil de Vale. On will to Fos Teen. Shock de Vale. Makara. Oh, my shoulders. No, seriously, I put the fucking heating on 3 hours before the stream. Specifically, because I knew it was going to be fucking freezing good. And then I came in. Moments what was I? Fucking... It was like half. It was like 2:30. I was getting everything ready. And I came in. And it was still, like, no mess. Like, at least, it was probably like 1 degree in here. Like, fucking radiator didn't come on. Like, and the digital, that's so, like, you hate digital shit because it's lying to you. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm looking at the digital readout, and the digital readout's just smiling at me, being like, what? Look at the things on the digital screen. It says it's on. You turned it on. You pressed the buttons. You did all the right things, Defender. And the room is still freezing cold. Just is what it is. It doesn't matter if you're right. It doesn't matter if you do the things that must be done. Sometimes shit just happens. And you must deal with it. Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah. That was the one. I'm like cat stretching in the morning. Oh, I can almost feel my fingertips again. Glorious. Oh. Right. My chi is beginning to flow. A dirty heathen language. How dare you? How very dare you? You can say nothing, Canadian. You have borrowed your languages. You're renting your languages from former crown wearers. You Maple Reef ricking cunt. Ugh! Right! I need some tunes. I don't know about you. But I need some tunes. If I'm just going to sit here and the only thing that's going to be moving is my fucking hands, I need healthy amounts of vibrations coursing through my body to maintain good chi flow. See what I mean? Right. Where is it? There it is. Oh! I wanted more coffee. But I am attempting to be disciplined. Oh! A moment. My bars. They are not resting on the stool correctly. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. Right. Glorious agua. Brought to you by PEINTEINGU. Crystal clear waters. All the way from Chinese... smuggled from Chinese heaven. I still have friends in Chinese heaven. They smuggle me divine waters. PEINTEINGU, goo, goo. Right! Let's row to this parrot. PEINTEINGU, goo, goo, goo. Where's my bitches? Let's get them wet. Oh, my rag! Paint! Right. I place my rag upon my knee. Why? For obvious reasons. It is my royal rag. Why? Because it's a purple. That's why. Oh, Christ! Where are my bitches? Right. We shall begin at the top. The airplanes could use some detail, some cleaner edges. We shall then move on to the coon. I would like to change the color of the radio. But to what? Fucking yellow. Make it yellow, like the shark. He's adorable. He doesn't have his teeth yet, but he's still adorable. Look at that underbite and those derpy, retarded eyes. He wants something to look retarded, but still cute. Underbite. I'm not taking the piss. It's just like a fucking, like, it just works. There's some things that just work aesthetically with cartoons and shit. You wanted to look retarded, but still kind of cute. Give it an underbite. Tis the simple things in life that bring me joy. Right. Which bitch first? Airplanes. Airplanes. An accurate bitch for an accurate job. PEINTEINGU. Goo. 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 Keep your bitches wet. And beat them regularly. Use your rag to dispose of all evidence of the encounter to wipe away excess. Because nobody likes a dry, stiff bitch. What kind of language name is Gaelic? Sounds gay. We lick gays. We lick them. Like frogs. Gays emit a certain enzyme. Their behavior makes them stinky, dirty. They ferment in their gayness. This makes them highly toxic, crazy, potentially dangerous. However, those dirty druid fucks would do anything for a high. So they used to rick the gays before killing them. The Blood Eagle wasn't just a Viking thing. Originally it was Gaelic. We used to call it the Blood Robin. Much smaller. We don't do the whole back. Just the middle. 2 swings of the axe, like chopping tree. Just like, eins, zwei. I mean, hein, do. PEINTEINGU. Why do I always just have like an urge to say things in German? Must be genetic. Ah, Max Toadmero! Welcome. A brave technique. I don't even know what you're referring to. The licking the gays. A brave technique. PEINTEINGU. We lick the gays. Like you know those frogs that if you lick, you like trip the fuck out. Oh fuck. Right. Some grey. It's true. Sodomy stinks. A dash of white. When I say dash of white, first thing that comes to my mind is Bruce Jenner running. Was he so good at running because he was a wreck of Tom Cruise? And he was attempting to subconsciously free his feminine desires. PEINTEINGU. PEINTEINGU. A soft grey to apply detail to the aeroplanes. I must be careful not to accidentally move something and destroy all of PEINTEINGU in one swift movement. Paint, goo, painting, goo, goo, goo. Paint, goo, painting, goo, goo, goo. Paint, goo, painting, goo, goo, goo. Painting, goo, 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 goo. Does not have to be perfect, just has to be good enough. Oh. Hey, two, go, go, go. Let's get some Euro on that fucking radio. Oop. I see Air A is in frames. Intense. What's the word on the street? We ruse anyone important yet? Oh. Instead of we all live on a Euro submarine, it's we all got killed by a raccoon with a Euro phone. Painting Frokar? Frokar bar? Is that Florida, California or something? I have heard there's many happenings about. It's like one of those situations where it's like, oh, there's a fire. Is it serious? And then you see the images and you're like, oh. It's serious. God damn. It's like, what was that Eddie Murphy bit? Now that's a fire! Like, it's been smoky, but they turned our power back on where I am, so that's a plus. How long was it gone? And corrected a recent evac order. Don't evac, so we shall see. It's definitely gnarly. That's intense. A fucking like a London's burning situation, man. Vegas just fucking went up in flames. That'd be crazy. That really would be biblical if like the Vegas Strip is just like fucking like. That'd be fucking biblical, man. It's like snowing here. I think that's crazy. Like somewhere else in the realm right now, it's intensely, like hellishly, literally hellishly hot, and like people have like lost their homes and shit. People are fleeing like a giant wall of fiery death, and I'm sitting here in the freezing cold in a hoodie. There's snow all over the road and mountains, and like I could all. Don't get me wrong, it's nice that for as far as the eye can see, I just see white, so that's good. But it's like freezing cold here, like it's like the total opposite. Like, oh, my eyes are still out gunky. Oh. You ever get that when like it's really cold and you have the heating on? You like fall asleep with your mouth open or something, like, and you just like, it's like you end up with like a flu, but you don't. You just have to like clear it all off in the morning. Like, spend the first 10 minutes being like, oh yeah, get everything moving. Like, oh, Iron Man Maru, welcome. My apologies for missing your call the other day. Try ringing me. What time is it? I will be free roughly an hour after the stream, later tonight. I will message you. Still snowing where you are, Margie, is it? Lucky bitch. It's raining here. It's all like mushy and wet now, instead of brilliantly white and crunchy. PEINTEINGU. Right, what's next? I'll let that dry and slap it. I might just put a layer of white on it and really make it pop with the yellow. PEINTEINGU. A maul probably would be handy, but I don't know where the fuck I'd put it. I'd probably end up just resting it against the wall over there most of the time. I'll give it a shot one day. Although part of me likes the challenge of trying to like, kind of like I'm fencing, like maintain correct posture and like stay away from the canvas. Much more difficult to maintain control, but very satisfying when you can like be like really graceful from a distance, you know, because that's why the brushes are that long, is for you to be able to like, ooh, like a proper fucking fancy cunt. Like, I'm in here like a carpenter, like fucking take the right shape, you fuck. Like, see other painters like fucking, like especially the French ones, are like tickling it from a distance. Faggots. Brilliant painters though. I know all too well how bad the fires can get. 2 summers back at my folks' place, we were on evac notice. That must be scary. Getting like a notice being like, you might have to leave. Shit might be fucked. Like, imagine that, like, we don't know yet, but we might be fucked. Like, could see the flames 2 kilometers away. Jeez. Smoke was so bad we had to soak towels around the door jambs. That's crazy. LA County touches Ventura County. I drive through Malibu most days, so I've been hanging near home for a while watching the status. That's wild, man. Absolutely wild. I will use all my demigod connections with the various heavens and beseech them for various blessings upon you all in these trying times. Tobias! Get your winter booties on. You have many messages to deliver. How does Tobias act as my communicado when he is fastened to the dong? This is one of the many vexings that I have faced over the past few months. Every time I rip Tobias from his perch, I must then glue him back upon it, post-communicado. I have yet to find a way to reliably place him on it with correct posture, without a heavy amount of sellotape and gluing, and then painting to make it look back. Not even joking. Supposed to get 7 to 8 inches. We will see. Ooh, Jesus, Margie. TMI. Keep that sort of talk out of the chat. Godspeed to you all who are near the flames. Like, that sounds so intense. Godspeed to you all that are near the flames. It's wild, man. I swear, like, it is. It's such bullshit, like, because it's like all this talk of like, oh, we're so advanced, we're so progressive. Look, we can land a rocket backwards. We're never mind the moon. We're going to Mars, baby. Like, we're gonna colonize that bitch. It's like fucking flood, wildfire, earthquake, fucking. Oh my God, we're all gonna die. Like humanity is constantly being humbled and like won't learn. Like collectively, like, oh my God, we're like so good. We're so great. We're like, we don't even need God anymore. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's up to us to save the planet and the animals and all. Like, because we're just like so amazing. Fucking wildfire. Oh my God, help! Oh Jesus Christ! It's like. Beautiful shade of pink. Nice. Did Iron Man ask a question? Oh, is everybody okay? Okay. It's like, I missed it. Shit. We've been through it before, so hopefully the dice roll survival this round. Yeah, that's also what I think is hilariously intense, though, is like stuff like that and be like, be fine. I have a bunker. Like, what? Yeah, I have a bunker. Like, it's happened like lots of times. I'll be fine. Like, you know, like, it's the same thing with like an Australian like outback fucker. You could be like on a really like, you know, like unsafe feeling little kayak thing in like crocodile fucking infested waters with like one of them wild outback, you know, guide fuckers. Some dude in like fucking, you know, khaki green shorts and a t-shirt and a fucking hat with crocodile's teeth, and, like Crocodile Dundee with a rifle, like, and he's like, you know, you're like a tourist and he's like showing you around, like, and you'll see like a 20-foot croc, like, you know, 10 feet away or something, like, and you'd be like, oh my God, there's one right there, and he's just like, I'll be fine, as long as we don't bother him, we'll be fine. You know, like, and you're like shitting yourself, like, oh my god, this is intense. Like, there's like a hippo right there. Like, we could die. And he's like totally calm. He's done it like 1,000 times. Like, he doesn't even get paid that much to do this shit. Like, he's like, potential death surrounds him constantly. Like, you know, city people are like really weak. You know, and like I'm basically a city kid. I'm a suburban kid. So I'm not that bad. You know, I still like climbed trees and fucking like did some like primal shit when I was young. And like I still like went out and like I've like gone places and done some shit. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm not like just a fucking bee in a hive since I was a kid. Like, and some people are. That's what's crazy. Like, that's how you get them bitches that like I couldn't stop laughing when I seen that TikTok bit where like your one was describing the size of her boyfriend's junk by comparing it to how big an iPhone is. Like, that's her frame of, like, that's her reference for like metrics. I don't know, it's like when it's really small, but then when it's hard, it's like the size of an iPhone 13. I read that, it was like one of them text things. I read that and I burst out laughing. It's just like, tell me you're an absolute airheaded bimbo bitch without telling me you're an absolute airheaded bimbo bitch. I don't know, it's like as big as an iPhone. Like, it's like, doesn't even remember what a ruler is in that moment. Like, do you know what I mean? Her brain is just like this swirling mass of like emojis, brand names. Fucking like, she's like, oh fuck. This is much needed chill entertainment. Well, I am here to serve, maxed out Barrow-sama. It is my duty to bring you beautiful images, hilarious images, beautiful noises, hilarious noises, and such. So much better. When you want it to be yellow, make sure it's white. Better. If it gets real bad, we shall send sleep-deprived bear to tunnel you out. That little Asian fuck would save us all. Like, oh, that'd be hilarious. Just takes one drunk hobo with a lighter to throw a wrench into the works. Yeah, I was fucking listening to Owen's stream and he's saying that like there's just dudes lighting fires. I well believe it. Like the shit that goes on, like even when we had that really small riot here in Dublin a while ago, like comparatively, you know, like to other places and all, it was like nothing, like, you know. And there's just like, there's fuckers who just use chaotic situations like that as an excuse to, you know, do whatever the fuck they feel like doing, like, and it's very childish, because it's like, I get it, I understand it on a primal level, where like you're in the moment and there's like high octane shit happening, like fucking cars exploding and there's fires and there's guards with shields and batons and stuff and there's people screaming and all, like, there'd be a part of me that, you know, there'd be that like primal lizard brain part of me that would be like, oh yeah, let's fucking go, yeah, like, you know, like, but then like
your brain, like your other parts of your brain kick in. You're like, I mean, like, why? You know, like that's. I think that's the main thing with like the difference between like a killer and like a hunter or a warrior, or even I think soldiers are actually killers. Like they're paid killers. That's what soldiers are. Soul dyers. Etymology's hilarious. But I think warriors and what was the other one I said? Hunters have a different relationship with violence. Like death, like violent death. And it's the discipline and the why, the reason. Why am I killing something? Well, I need to feed my family. Okay. Fairly moral, especially depending on the circumstances. Why am I killing? To defend to defend my family. Same shit, you know? Why am I killing? I'm killing because I'm being paid to kill in a foreign land. You know? Like, even if it's still like you could argue that even if it's still technically on your, like, in your country, if it's not your fight, it's not your fight. Like are you gonna get involved in like a football hooligan war? Like, no, you know. So why you get involved in like a lot of lads wearing uniforms shooting at each other for some kind of political reason? Like, you know, it's not the same thing. Like, I think that's why America is so important, like important in so many ways, because you have dudes with guns who know how to use them, who love their wife and children, and own their own land and shit. And it's like, you're not taking my shit, you know. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna come on my land and try and take my shit? Good luck. I got plenty of ammo, like, do you know what I mean? Like, you fucking, you wanna fucking, what was that called? Fucking Ruby Ridge? I've seen Red State, nigga. I've seen Red State. Like, I know what happens. Fucking crazy shit, man. Being an unarmed population is, like, weird. But it's like, you're not completely unarmed, like, you know. Obviously, you don't have guns readily available, but like, you don't really need a gun, you know, to do some killing. It's like, you sit out every day, like. It's one of the things that started happening a lot when you have all this, like, immigration going on from countries like Africa and shit, like, or, you know, like some Malaysian countries or Indonesian countries. Dudes will just fucking cut you up with a kitchen knife or a machete or something. They don't need a fucking gun, man. Like, it's like, oh, we don't. They have guns, we don't. It's like, all right, well, we'll just wait. Wait for what? Wait for them to all go asleep. They can't use their guns when they're asleep. Pièce de résistance on the shark. It's not a proper underbite unless you can have these like huge fucking fangs coming out. Well, not fangs. Shark's teeth. I had a shark tooth necklace that a friend of my it's actually my sister's godfather gave it to me. English fella. Or was he? Was he English? I think he might have just moved to England. Really funny dude. He used to work with me dad. Came back from Australia one year. Gave me a fucking necklace with a shark's tooth on it. It's fucking so sharp. Paint! Deadly sharp. Or a raccoon dropping his cigar. Hilarious. All it takes is one hobo dropping a lighter, or a raccoon dropping his cigar. That'd be so fucking funny. If you actually witnessed a raccoon fucking smoking, like, it's just... What? What are you looking at? Have you seen a raccoon smoke before? The fuck you look. Like, of course he's from Jersey, like, or New York or something. Like, hey, smell it with you. You never seen a raccoon smoke before. Fuck you. It's like. So retarded looking. I love it. Like, imagine seeing that thing in real life. Oh god, I'd piss myself laughing. Oh. Probably found oil reserves in the LA basin. Alright boys, clear them out. Yeah, like, we'll be surprised. Like, some of the shit that happens just like every day in humanity in the world and all, like, and then we find out about it years later. Like when I heard about that, was it the Tuskegee experiment thing, where they like gave all them lads syphilis under the pretense of like giving them like some kind of free medical treatment. Like, they gave them all syphilis, like, and it's just like the shit people do to each other. Like, and like that's a really, like, you know, fucked up thing to do and all, like, but it's not, the basic shit. That's quite sophisticated. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like another group of people giving like one group of people gives another group of people a deceptive medical intervention, resulting in them getting really ill. You know, and like fucking dying and shit probably. I don't know how many of them died, but like it's just as bad when you see stuff like what was it, Hotel Rwanda. Like, that shit actually happened, like, do you know what I mean? We had fucking, like, one tribe was just like, alright, fuck it, like, and they just started, like, just got machetes and started literally butchering the other tribe, like, and the only, like, visible difference between the two tribes is that, like, ones have, like, slightly different noses, typically, do you know what I mean? That's, like, the major visible difference, like, other than that, they're, like, the same kind of black. Like, foreigners would look at it and be like, why are those blacks killing those blacks? But it's the same, like, you know, it's like, why are the people from Parmetstown kicking the head off the people from fucking Ballyfermot or whatever? Like, do you know what I mean? They're both like white kids from Dublin, like, do you know what I mean? It's like, they're both white, they're both from Dublin, which is a county in Ireland which is predominantly white, you know, and it'll stay that way. Fucking like, it's just hilarious. Like, people just don't think, you know. Human nature just is what it is. That's why, like, the ideals of being better, of being, like, of striving for some kind of not perfection, but like striving for some kind of standard that, like, means something, like, you know, something that lasts, that you can, because when you, like, that's the good side. Like, you hear all this shit about, like, you know, oh, the patriarchy, empires, colonizers, all this shit. It's like, empires have an incredible amount of benefit, because, like, if you have an empire and you have, like, a data record and you have all this shit, you know, like, son of blah, son of blah, son of blah, son of blah, and you can track all that shit back. It's incredibly useful and grounding and rooting to the soul, because you know who you are, where you came from, and, like, and then you can, like, depending on the fucking ideology or whatever, choose where you're going, you know. Obviously, not if it's one of those, like, you are a soldier, boy, and it's like, huh? But, like, you get where I'm coming from. Like, you know, it's, like, totally possible to have, like, a opulent, moral, like, good, true, beautiful existence, but it's the people that need to choose it. We just live in a time where, like, an incredible amount of weakness has been indulged in. It's an incredible amount of indulgence, which has resulted in weakness. And like, it's not the whole like, you know, good times make weak and shit. Like, very accurate, very real. So we're all about to learn some really harsh lessons collectively, or we won't, you know. There's the people that go, oh shit, I won't do that again, and learn and behave differently after the fact. And then there's the people who are like, why me? Why now? And they just get worse. You know? That's the snake eating itself. That shit's like, they're all just gonna destroy themselves. You can just sit like, I wouldn't advise sitting back and watching it, because it might fucking horrify you. But like, that's where I'm at, is like, I'm detached. I focus on me, and then I focus on my relationship with the female, and then beyond that I focus on my relationship with my mother and my sister, and then like my friends. Jimmy, it's very like, it's gone from like, you know, all these rabbit holes and like, you know, what is the realm and all this shit, like for when I was in my mid-20s. It's gone, it's contracted completely to like what I can actually see, taste, touch, hear, control, have an impact on, you know. And it's amazing. It's a totally like, looking back on it, it is like you're in a haze, in a dream, in the dream world, like, you know what I mean, in the Matrix. Because once you get out of it and you realize that it is actually like the thing I said to myself, I was like, I'm the problem. Like, I used to blame like my parents this, school this, the government that, society this, and then just all of a sudden I was just like after a series of events, I can't remember how it actually like came about, but I just got to a point and I was just like, it's me. I'm in control. I'm the problem. But, you know, like, I wasn't met with the whole like, oh god, it's me. I didn't get despair about it. It was freeing. It was liberating. I was like, so I can change it. But if I'm the problem and I'm in control of me, well, that's a really good place to be in, isn't it? Because you could just like immediately like change the trajectory of like all this shit, because it's you. It's so like, it's it's hilariously, it's all like, it's like on a level, it's it like, there's a madness to it. There's like this like euphoric, kind of like the whole Planet of the Apes thing, where he's just like, oh my god, what the fuck? Do you know, when he's looking at the Statue of Liberty and he realizes what's going on, like, he's not on a different planet, he's in the future and all this shit. Like, that's kind of what it, like it's, you're like, all this time it was me. I could have just behaved differently. Fuck's sake, like, because you just don't see it. Like, once you see it, you're like, you just start laughing, or you should just start, like, if you can't laugh at yourself, you're fucked. And I'm really good at that. I'm really good at like laughing at myself. I'll do something, and I do it all the time. I'll do something, and like, I'll think in my head like, you fucking bellend, like, and I'll just be like, fuck. Like, why get down about it? Like, I still do a little bit, you know. I could still be harsh on myself, but people do that. Oh my god, I'm so stupid, I'm so bad at this, I'm so this, I'm so that, I'm so fucked, I'm so ugly, I'm so fat, I'm so skinny, I'm so hungry, I'm so fucking, like, solve it. Do something about it, you know? Fucking do something about it. There's always a choice, there's always an option. I don't care who you are, what situation you're in, like, you know? Like, literally, like, it could be fucking anything, like, someone could be like holding a gun to the back of your head, telling you to like fucking eat a crab or something. I don't fucking know, like, fucking eat it, do it. Like, you know, it's like, you have, like, don't get me wrong, you should probably just eat the fucking crab, but like, after the fact, you should like be like, how did I get there? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, what choices did I make to end up in a situation where somebody wanted to put a gun to my head? Like, I've seen other people in my life not realize that it's them. Do you know what I mean? Saying shit like, oh, these guys, they really fucked me up. And it's like, Well, why did they fuck you up? What did you do that gave multiple people a reason to like do physical harm to you? What did you do? What did you say? Like, you know, they're just assholes. I'm a victim. It's like, nah, like, you did some shit. Oh, it's hilarious to me now, like.
Somebody has a paid for PEINTEINGU! Glorious!
I forgot to announce it yesterday, actually, when that randomer came in. I was like, I have 2 sound bites and they never fucking work. The other one for that guy that came into the chat subscribed, so I'm back up to 111 now. I think that was so. I went up to like 113, and then a lot of people left. I've been floating over 100, like in and around hundreds, like for like 2 years now. I think it's so funny, like just like in this little corner of YouTube, no, you know, like getting away with everything. That's all gonna change probably. God only knows. That sounds more like a drunk Bostonian. I was in LA 2 weeks ago, biked all the roads and trails that are on fire. Friend's home is gone in Pacific Palisades. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I couldn't believe that when Owen was saying that your man Kevin's house is gone and all. Like you guys all know people and like that shit that like yeah, it's gone. It's all gone. Like it's like fuck. Like that's intense. It's like what happened in, what was that place called? Was it Maui? The whole Hawaii thing with fucking Oprah and Rock and all, like people, like the truthers were saying that it was like a fucking an energy weapon because it was so specifically situated in certain parts. You see some pictures and you're like, maybe? Because I don't think I don't think for a second that energy weapons are like sci-fi. They're totally like, it just depends on what kind of energy weapon you're talking about. If you could, like, it would not be difficult to harness the sun in some kind of way and fuck some shit up. It's not difficult at all. Yeah, like, it's crazy the way that, like, that much stuff is just, like, burning. Like, acres and acres and acres and acres of just people's homes and shit, like businesses and all. Like, that's crazy. Like, I love this, Margie. I've quite a few guns. Just like I love that. Stabber was like, sorry to hear that, glad you're okay. I'm sure the smoke will affect, like, you know, a large swath of Cali and shit. Like, the next one's just Margie. I've quite a few guns, so, you know, I've gotta be fine. I'm gonna shoot the fuck out of that fire. I like the idea. That makes me so joyous. It's so funny to picture Margie, a 70-year-old woman in Tennessee, just walking out her porch with a double-barreled shotgun and a wall of flame, just like, get the fuck off my property. Like, burn my house, will you? Think again. I got God on my side. I got God and buckshot on my side, bitch. Stand down. Like, fuck you, Satan. I would, please, somebody do that. I want to see that on YouTube. Just some dude stroll out of his house with an AA-12 with incendiary rounds and just start dumping into the fire. Fuck you, Satan! Oh, that'd be the best thing ever. I know, yeah. I can only imagine what I was talking about. It's okay. I haven't even finished your message. Give me a sec. My dad did hunting. Legend. Taught me to shoot. Legend. After I was walking. Yeah, I've seen people like hand a .22 bolt action to like a toddler. I'm like, just point and squeeze, Timmy. Ting. Like, oh look, a squirrel, Timmy. Like, why didn't I have that kind of upbringing? Would have been so much cooler. Oh, I could have been in the Olympics. That's the idea of that is hilarious. An Irishman being like, why wasn't I brought up in America? I could have been somebody. If I'd have just been born in Boston. Got my own rifle when I was 12 years old. You lucky bitch. My kids and grandchildren come to my farm to shoot their guns. That's awesome. That is so cool. Like, we're going to Grandma's house this weekend. Get your shotguns, kids. Yay! Oh, that's fucking amazing. I just love that. Like, Jamie, yeah, are you bringing your Glock to Grandma's this weekend? Yeah. Like, oh man, I love that. I want that for my kids. I want that, like, like, come on, we're going to Grandpa's this weekend. Yay! I get to shoot my Uzi. Like, oh fuck. Yeah, like loads of people know people who have lost their shit. Like, that's crazy. Like, it's not one of those situations where, like, you know, it's all over the news and everyone's talking about it, but like nobody we know was hurt in the incident, you know. It's not like that. It's like we know people like a few degrees of separation away from us in the community, names that like faces we've seen, you know. It's like, yeah, it's gone, we got the fuck out of there. It's like, Jesus, that's bad. Like, was bad. Run the bears and other animals to hear. The radio shows up great now. The radio shows up great now, Defender. Oh, oh right, yeah, cool, yeah. Yellow was the way to go. I'm glad you approve, Margie. Yeah, that's crazy when, like, you know, like I was saying, it's like humbling as fuck to humanity when like an earthquake or a tsunami or like some shit like that happens. And all the animals, like, you know, migrate in their fucking hordes and swarms and shit, like, and you'll get bears in people's backyards, like, even more than you used to and shit, because they're all fleeing the location of the disaster and shit, like, mad shit, like. Ever see those clips where, like, somebody wakes up after a storm or some shit and they have a fucking crocodile in their pool? Like, Croc's just chilling and be like, what? Ain't my fault. Like, you're looking at me for? You think I want to be here? This fucking chlorine sucks. Like, did you piss in this? Like, I kind of want to give the raccoon something like a sash. Put a sash with medals on him or something, like, I don't know, like. Or maybe I should, I like the way I gave him, like, one of his ears is totally fucked, like. Obviously he's got the radio and the cigar and shit, but, like, I kind of, like, I think he's missing something. Oh, glorious! Is that it? Is it time to change the tunes? Not quite yet, but you know what? I'm gonna do it ahead of time. Because that shit starts to repeat itself. Painting goo goo do 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 do. Painting goo goo. I had a look into the putting members in colour thing, Margie, and I don't know how to do it. Swear to God. I spent about 20 minutes on the laptop trying to look into, like, members options on my channel, and I can't do shit. So I don't know. I think I have to like have more subscribers to do, like, there's like milestones, there's like boxes you need to tick on your channel, and it has to like they have to like approve you of stuff. So I can't even have members and shit yet. I don't think so. I don't know what's going on. I find it odd how the houses with blue roofs were not harmed by the Maui fire. Yeah, it's like, there is definitely weird shit, and they had the same stuff with like allegedly or whatever. They had the same shit with well, not allegedly because there's photos, but like, you know, it might be fake. I don't know. Like, from what I've seen anyway, when the two towers got hit in like 2001 or whatever, there was photos of cars that had just like melted, but not in like melted from heat kind of way. They looked like they'd melted from like sound or an energy weapon or vibration, intense vibrations or something like. And there's been a few cases like that where they find like loads of cars in a disaster zone or something, and like the way the metal has melted, or the way some of them was like the rubber on the wheels was fine, but the metal and the glass had been like liquidated, and it's like, how the fuck does that happen? Do you know? So there's like certain images and certain things. There's certain, like, you know, what one could call evidence, but like obviously the mainstream blah blah military getting involved, you know, fucking like the public or can't be known. This like that needs to be top secret. Like even that, like don't people think of that shit? Like, it's not just in the movies, you know. It's like there are things like they're called the Secret Service. You know, every nation, most nations have an element of their military, if they have one, that like is like what's it called? Like, you know, black ops, wet work, off the books. We don't write this down, you know. Kind of like the Men in Black, like it's totally real. That's not a conspiracy theory. It's common, like, I suppose it's not common sense. It's logical. That is a logical step after, like, when you just think of the realities of war and interplay and relationships between nations. Obviously, there's gonna be fuckers who are trying to do clandestine shit. You know, like, well, if they don't find out, we can get away with it. Like, you know, like that's what a criminal is. Like, a criminal is like, you know, well, if they don't see me steal the bread, you know, like, so just extrapolate upon that, just fractal it out. Like, there are politicians, like whole sections of government's fucking secret service. Like, there's guys within the CIA or the MI6 for Britain or whatever, like, that are there, but double agents. Like, do you know what I mean? There's like Russian spies in MI6. There's MI6 spies in Russia. Like, they're all spying on each other. Like, that's why it's called the spy game. That's why there's books written about it. It's because, like, that's how it works. Is like all this fucking. It's just a game of chess. It's like MMA. You know, when it's like, it starts off very meat and potatoes, and like some dudes don't even look like they know how to fight, but they're really good at wrestling or something. Like, do you know what I mean? And then over the years, most of the guys on the roster can fight to a certain degree in various ways, and then it starts to get more technical because, like, all of the fighters that are fighting each other are constantly advancing and becoming aware of more shit, what works, what doesn't work, you know. And it's like, it's the same in gaming. Like, there's called, like, it's what's referred to as the meta of a game, where like you'll have people who get so good at a game, and then they get to a point where they're like, alright, so the optimal usage of these items and the optimal usage of this outfit and the optimal usage of, like, the strategy that I employ on this level will result in, like, the highest score possible. So that means that I can, it's called farming. That means that I can get the same rewards again and again and again and again and get to my objective in the shortest space of time. You know, it's also how to, like, break records and shit or do speed runs and stuff. Is like, okay, how do you optimize your behavior within the construct to get the, like, almost perfect outcome? You know, it's the same strategy employed in the Olympics and gymnastics and fighting and everything. Like, do you know what I mean? In art, it's like when you extrapolate all the data of all the people doing the same thing, and then you realize what works and what doesn't work, and then you can push the craft or the behavior up a level, and then get to, like, it might sit there for a while. You might get to a plateau for like years, decades, hundreds of years, but then something happens, and then everybody starts using the new technique or the new thing, and because that opens up more doorways, now you get all these people that can do this now. Like, you know, it's like, it's retarded to think that, like, there isn't some really fucked up secret shit going on all the time, and you'll probably never know about it. Like, and it probably does have like a minor effect on your life. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if some of the like things that have happened in our lives are a result of like two dudes shooting each other in a room and somewhere random, and like because of who they are and who they worked for and what information they had on them at the time, it drastically changed the outcome of an election or something in a country. Do you know what I mean? It's like that butterfly flaps its wings effect, where it's like just this encounter between two people is the catalyst that creates a series of events that ends up changing legislation in a country in some political event. You know, like, it's like that. As far as I'm concerned, that's how all this shit works. It's all just pieces of a clock. It's just a really advanced clock. If that part over there moves in a certain way or changes or gets swapped out for another bit, and then changes the movement pattern of the pieces around it, it's then eventually going to affect the pieces down here on the left hand side, because it's a giant clock. It's all moving, but it's all connected, and it all hits off each other like ripples in a pond, you know? That's why the zeitgeist is so fascinating, because like the aggregate of human consciousness, where you can just put an idea out there and then it just starts like permeating. Owen talks about it all the time, where he'll like say something on Twitter, and then 6 months later, like, people are talking about it or some shit. Like, he'll hit a node, and it's like fucking it's like hitting a nerd. It's like hitting a nerve cluster. You ever get like Chris Gardner speaks about it. It's like, you know, you find that fucking bit in the muscle that has a knot in it, and you have to like work it out and shit, and then once you do, all the blood like rushes back into the area, and the area starts like working the way it used to work. That's basically where I see all of this panning out. Like, is like you're going to have like power vacuums being filled, and then shit changes, and then like, yeah, like how mad would it be that like in the next 5-10 years the United States isn't just like the continent that it is. It's not just the 50 states or 52 states or whatever that it currently is. It ends up expanding north, and like Canada and Greenland become part of the United States of America. Like, do you know, imagine like the geopolitical implications of that. Like, do you know what I mean? Everybody be like, oh, I don't know, like, like, that's what I think is hilarious about Ireland, because Ireland's in a position, physically in a position, geographically, not just like relationship wise, or like in a geopolitical or a marketing sense, or like, what would you call it, like a currency fucking trade, in a trade sense, you know, with other countries. Like, Ireland's like really in the middle. Like, all of Europe and Asia is over there, and then all of the Americas and Latin America is like over there. Like, and if you want, like, if you're going from America, at least on this side, you know, on a flat earth map anyway, like, if you're leaving America, first thing you hit is Ireland, allegedly, anyway. Like, there's one thing I think is hilarious about watching the Squid Game, when he's like trying to find the island, and your man, like, they're in Korea, and he's like, have you any idea how many islands are around here within a 6-mile radius? There's hundreds. Think about that for a sec. So like, just around Korea, same in Japan, it's the same here, it's the same in Ireland. Ireland is surrounded by islands, and like, sure, when you look at a map, you just see Ireland, and then if you zoom in on Google or something, you start to see the other things, and they look small, right? And comparatively they are, but as a human being, if you stood on these things, like, you could totally have like towns and villages and things on these things. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, totally, they're like well big enough, and like some of them are like totally flat at the top anyway. Like, there is like sheer cliffs and stuff, like, but that's what I think is fascinating about the the whole, like, you know, what do we, like, is it flat, is it a globe? It's like, you don't know what the fuck. They've lied about everything. Everything. Sure, some things they've, like, really lied about, but, like, everything they have lied about to a degree. Because you live in a construct. That's how it works. The very essence of the thing, like, the way you've been living is a construct. Whether it's a social construct or an agreed upon thing or a fucking technological construct, it's still a fucking construct. And you're, like, behaving within it. It's like... It's so fascinating to, like, see. It's like you're, like, on the other side of a glass window, like, you know, looking in and being like, how can you not figure out how to get on my side? Like, that is so fucked up. Like, I struggle with that. I struggle with not being able to, and I have a really good imagination. Like, I have a vivid, creative imagination, and I find it really difficult to genuinely put myself in the shoes of, like, someone who can't learn or, like, cop onto certain things, like, to like realize, you know, like, stuff like I was talking about, where it's like, oh, it's me. And, like, yeah, sure, like, I'm gonna be a hypocrite, or, like, you know, because it took, like, it's not like I was in my 20s when I figured that shit out, like, you know. And it is funny the way they say it. It's like, oh, your frontal cortex doesn't fully develop until you're 25 or whatever, like, and it was around that time where I was like, hang on a minute. Like, that's what I think. Like, I just consider myself blessed, because it wasn't like when I'm honest about it, it's like, it wasn't something that I did. Like, maybe technically, literally it was, but I wouldn't be able to, like, you know, prove that. Maybe it was something that I did on a given day, or a thought I had, or, like, you know, maybe there was one decision I made on a random Wednesday that started me on the path to where I am now. Maybe just one day I just made a turned left instead of right, or some shit, like, maybe. But what I think it is like, I think it is to do with, like, your soul and, like, fate. Yes, you have free will, but, like, if your heart's desire is to be, like, good and do good stuff, then I think that, like, you go towards that. But there are people out there who's, like, their heart's desire is, like, hatred, death, violence, destruction, revenge. They want the ugly. They want to see everything, you know, be destroyed and all, like, you know, they're full of, like, bitterness and all this shit, like. And it's sad. But it's not your responsibility, you know? They're on their own journey, like. I kind of think the whole samsara thing is real. Like, I'd say, like, if you're, like, a total absolute dickhead of a human being, like, you know, and you die cold, alone, people hate you even, like, you know, whatever, like, you've no kids or anything like that. Like, I'm not saying not having kids makes you a bad person, but, like, you've no, like nobody comes to you, no friends, no nothing when you're dying. Like, you just die alone, cold, bitter. I wouldn't be surprised if, like, those are the ones that, like, keep getting sent back to be just like, dude, like, you just don't get it. Like, you know, it's not about, like, living in a mansion and having all this, like, you know, prestige and shit. Like, you can be happy living out of a fucking cardboard box as long as you have honor and integrity and love in your heart. Like, do you know what I mean? There are already people here comparing this to the Paradise Fire and others like that. I think people underestimate the power of arson and super intense winds, but it could be many things. People underestimate the power of arson. It's hilarious. Maybe they're lasering us, or maybe bombs set fires and the wind is nuts. I can't really know. Like, yeah, like, you don't know. Like, do you know what I mean? It's all just, like, the point is to be speculative. That's the point. You know what I mean? Because if you're not speculative, then you'll just run with a narrative. You'll just pick a narrative and run with it. You'll be like, I feel like that's true, and you'll just run with that one. The whole point is to be the witness. The whole point is to just be the, like, is to just witness it and pay attention and be honest. And just keep doing that, you know? And don't, like, react. Like, obviously you're gonna have to react to some things if it's, like, in your immediate space, you know? You have to react to somebody throwing a punch at you, like, but like the difference between you having to react and it hitting you anyway because you weren't quick enough is like being prepared. Do you know what I mean? Like thinking ahead, paying attention to your surroundings. Like, do you know what I mean? You don't all of a sudden end up in a dark alley with somebody trying to mug you. You choose to go down a dark alley that may or may not have people lying within in the dark shadows waiting to mug you, you know? Like, people get fucked up when they're not paying attention to the surroundings, you know? You should at all times be able to have that, like, awareness of, like, I shouldn't be here right now. You know what I mean? But like people don't pay attention to that. Like people are focused on other things. Like how do you end up surrounded by drug dealers that are like at a moment's notice gonna like put you the fuck down, put holes in your chest? Like you end up there because you desire those things. You desire that kind of life. Like, do you know what I mean? Like how do you end up working really hard and then finding out one day that your wife's had an affair or whatever like that? It's like you chose. As heartbreaking as it might be, like, you know, there are things you did that obviously she's got free will too, but it's like things could have been different. Do you know what I mean? But they aren't because this is what happened. Getting wrapped up in the like, oh, why me, is stupid and it's a waste of time. Obviously, I think that like they influence you to be infantilized so that you do that. So that your reaction is like, oh, why me? Like, because that's a child's reaction to something is like, I don't know what to do. I have no power in this situation. This is your fault. You're supposed to protect me and take care of me. Like, that's a child's point of view, like, you know? An aware, powerful, disciplined, you know, adult is like, you know, what did I do? Like, you know, what have I done? Oh shit! Like, you know, the realization of like, oh fuck, I've fucked up. I need to remedy this. Like, you know, and that's the crazy thing is you have like, you know, grown ass men being like, it's the fucking liberals. Like, it's like Jesus Christ, it's mad shit. Like, fires and floods are both so horrible. Yeah, it's like pick your poison. I was gone for a sec. Is Streamlabs working? Did my super chat go through? Oh shit! I never read it out. Sorry, man. I was just on a total fucking rant there. I never read it out. That's my bad. Blessings to all our Japanite brothers. Thanks for always showing up, Defenderu. Keep crushing. Ah, you're all welcome. You give me too much credit. I don't always show up. Most of the time. Most of the time. I do pride myself on my punctuality. I'm not always here, but when I am, I'm on time. I like the idea of being one of those guys that people can set their watch by. Those people always seem really cool. Like the old guy that lunatic kid killed. The fucking... That one I was talking about the other day. You've seen it, Max. With the, like, you know, the ma found his, found a head and the hands in a bag in his room. The old guy that kid killed was, like, known in the area for being this really kind, sweet old man that would sit outside this, like, bridal dress shop in a chair and read books. And they said he was like always here at like certain times, and he had the same job for years, always slept in the same place, always paid this much for that, and always bought the same like sandwiches or whatever, like, you know, Subway sandwiches. And anytime I hear a story about a character like that, I always find it incredibly endearing. It's like, I want to be like that. I want to be the guy that, like, loads of people in a community, I'm just in the background. You know, like those guys. Like, people only notice you're gone. Like, people only notice you when you're gone, because you were just there all the time. They'll just turn around one day and be like, "Where's Defender gone? Oh shit." You know, like, and then everybody starts to, where's that ginger cunt that's always there painting, like, you know that guy that's been there for like 25 years? Where the fuck is he? He's dead now. They're like, what? No way. Yeah, he's like, and then this like whole thing unfolds. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's beautiful. Obviously, it's not beautiful that he got decapitated and disarmed. But like, it kind of is. Like, you can tell the story of this awesome old dude, like, who like everybody fucking loved and cherished and shit. Like, what happened to him? He was murdered by this 19-year-old psychopath who really wanted to know what it would feel like to kill somebody. It's like, oh shit. like, that's how fucked up cities are. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like the type of dude who should have been, like, you know, well cared for and accommodated for, because he's like a lot of experience, he's still old, and he's willing to like work, and he just sits there and reads and shit. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, those are the type of elders that like the grown-ups and kids should be like listening to and taking care of, and all this fucking, like, I hate the idea of a hospice. These things are fucking terrible. Like, what are we gonna do with the old people? What the fuck do you mean we're gonna do with the old people? Like, don't get me wrong, some old people suck. They want to just be like, oh, I don't want to do it. And like, some old people are like, you know, curmudgeons and like cranky old cunts and stuff. Like, there's that. But some old, like, a lot of old people fucking kick ass, like, you know. I love when you see old people like doing mad shit, like bungee jumping and stuff. Like some 80-year-old woman doing bungee jumping. Like, well, it's on my bucket list. It's like, that's what you want to be like, you know? You want to be a week away from death and, like, jet skiing, you know? You could give the raccoon pupils kind of looking up at the plains or down at the shark. No, I want him to look soulless and evil while he bombs the place. I want him to look like, send it, you know? I put a mousetrap down in my dressing room where I sleep. It caught one in the middle of the night. Did you hear it slap? Or did you just wake up to the death of the tiny furball? It's come out that Russian SVR agents captured by the CIA will troll them by confirming, in quotes, the American propaganda about Russia just to get nicer treatment. Now that's playing chess. I fucking love it. Oh, it's hilarious. Got to keep those little buggers at bay, Margie. I figured snakes would take care of them, or the stupid cat. That's hilarious. You're like looking at the cat with you have a dead mouse in a trap, and you're just looking at your cat like, what the fuck do I feed you for? You useless fat fuck. Like, meow. Like, get out there and kill some rodents. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, cats can be pretty lazy. I've seen mine not bother to go after a bug right next to them. You guys treat your cats like children though. Like, you let them like just lie on you and cuddle you and shit and all, like all the time. Like, don't get me wrong, I mean, like, I'd probably be like that with my cat, like, but like, that's how you get cats that are just like, they'll see a mouse and they'll just be like, what? I mean, what, you want me to chase the thing? Isn't it feeding time? like you can tell, like, cats, house cats become incredibly entitled and regal. Do you know what I mean? They're like, excuse me, sir, you're supposed to feed me now. You know, like that's what house cats are like generally. Like, do you know what I mean? They see, a house cat will see you as its, you know, servant. This giant naked mole rat feeds me. I didn't even have to do anything. I just stand here looking beautiful and soft, and he just feeds me. It's hilarious. You know, like, they're real entitled and shit. Whereas, like, the dog loves you and sees you as, like, God. You know, like, what are we doing today? You gonna throw the ball? You know, like, oh my god, food! Like, you know, like, dogs, that's why people love dogs, is because they're endearing and adorable and loving and, like, playful and all this shit. People love cats because, like, cats are cuddly and funny in a, you know, in a inquisitive way. You know, the way they play with each other and slap each other and shit. Like the fact that a cat will, like, beat the shit out of a baby and won't harm it is fucking amazing to me. Like, do you know what I mean? I've seen it so many times, but it's like literally like a fucking infant, like 9-month-old baby or something, or like maybe a year old, just sitting in the middle of a sitting room playing with toys, and the people also own a cat, and like the cat is just chilling beside the baby. Baby does something, and the cat like freaks out, and like Sugar Ray Leonard fucking like brah, brah, da da da, and like fucking beats the shit out of the kid. But the kid's just like, what the fuck was that? And like, it isn't injured at all. Like, the cat doesn't, like its claws are fully retracted. They're not put out, and it's just like these little furry mittens, just like slapping the shit out of the kid, and the kid's fine. Like, do you know what I mean? The fact that the cat has that like, I know dogs do it too, where they won't like put pressure on a bite, or they'll be gentle with their paw or some shit, but they don't. Dogs don't have the same level of grace and manual dexterity as cats. You know, like cats will sneak up behind you. You wouldn't even fucking know. Like, you know, like they're fucking ninjas. Like, and they're shit quick. Like cats can jump out of the way of a snake bite. That's how fucking quick they are. Like, so, like, I love watching cat videos. They're so funny. Like, but I think that's brilliant, the way that, like, it knows it's a baby, and he's like, he doesn't want to hurt it, but he still wants to emotionally retaliate. Like, you know, like, how dare you? You know, like, and like literally throws hands at the fucking baby like for about 3 seconds, and the baby's just like, what the fuck? Like, it got like somebody like randomly threw a table rag at it, or not even like some foam just randomly went in front of its face, because there's literally no, like, you don't even hear a pitter patter of the paws on the baby's head. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like slapping the kid so lightly. It has such fine motor function control over its paws, and doesn't put its claws out because it doesn't want to hurt the kid. It just wants to communicate to the child that it didn't like what it did. Like, you know, it's like, animals are fucking so intelligent, like, in their own little way. Like, and people who think animals are just stupid dumb animals are stupid dumb animals. That's what's... Life is hilariously ironic. Gotta keep those little... Oh no, I already read that one. Yeah, cats can be pretty... Oh, I already read that one. Where is it? Oh, I thought I was... I didn't think I was caught up yet. Defender, you better be here after I'm gone. Where would I go to feel like someone... and laugh sometime? I'm glad I am providing you a source of joy in your life, Margie. It is an honor. And don't worry, I'll probably be around for a while. Don't get me wrong, sometimes I feel like I might die soon, but I think I'm just dehydrated. I'm not even playing. Sometimes I'm like, you know, I just feel off. I think I just need to drink more water and like less coffee and shit, like, because then other times I feel great, you know, like after a workout or a hot shower or something. Like, I think my nervous system is just very sensitive these days. That might be a part of just, like, you know, hitting your mid-30s and 40s and stuff. It's like Bernie Mac. It's like every so often you're like, am I dying? Am I dying? No? Okay. Like, you know, like Barney out of fucking Simpsons, like, where it's like, oh, my heart just stopped. Oh, there it goes. I'll always remember that clip from The Simpsons. Like, that made me laugh so hard when I was like really young. When I remember seeing it, like, I fucking love it. The cat sleeps on the bed with Billy. I have a chihuahua in my bed and a husky at my... How many... You got a chihuahua, a husky, a cat, and mice? Jesus. Do you live in it? Oh, yeah, no, you actually do live on a farm. Yeah, you already said that. Oh! Excuse me. Okay. Kind of want to... Will I stick a black outline on everything? I think I will. A touch more colour in some places though first, methinks. The Xenoboon's tongue needs to be greener. But I think his fur is fine. Shout out to the randomer yesterday for the spiky tail idea, because it actually ended up looking much better. Oh, you have birds as well? Oh yeah, that cockatoo thing. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah. Oh, okay. Green. What's some green? Painting goo goo. Goo 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 goo. Painting goo goo. Painting goo goo. Goo 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 goo. I love the green that I get when I mix primary yellow and sky blue. It's just a nice bright citrusy green. It's like that lime green. It's beautiful. It's beautiful! Painting goo goo. Goo 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 goo. I don't like the Xenoboon's eye. The Xenoboon's eye wasn't like that when I originally did it. It was just black, like a shark's. But it's not derpy looking. Although it would be hilarious if the Xenoboon was also really derpy looking. Intensely intelligent and violent and really dangerous, but like looks retarded as fuck. Like. Really need to kick it into gear, into a higher gear when I come back from Portugal, and I make sure I get the chicken t-shirt released, finish the symmetrical that I've had sitting there for fucking months, and then the plan is to bang out lots of symmetricals this year. That's why I was saying that I might do symmetrical streams. I don't know if symmetrical Sundays will be a thing, but there's definitely going to be a day where I do symmetricals. Because part of me wants to record the whole process of like me drawing it out first. Because I know for a fact that somebody like some people will see the symmetricals and be like, "How the fuck did you draw that?" Like, do you know what I mean? I only draw half of it. That's what I love about it. You just, like I like have complete freedom with this side, and then I just trace it and flip it, you know. And you get some wild looking shit because you don't have to worry about the symmetry while you're making it. It's weird, like, do you know what I mean? If you're worried about this, because I've tried it before where I'm like, I'm going to do a symmetrical image, and it's really difficult, you know. Obviously, it's really difficult to, like, you know, get the same exact shapes, strokes at the same level. Like, do you know what I mean? Like the way most people do it is like there's a technique of like graphical technical drawing to it with like rulers and grids, and that's how most artists do it, is like they use tools to guide them to make the images perfectly symmetrical and shit, whereas like I literally just do half the image and then flip it like a Rorschach or whatever, like so you can just do whatever the fuck you want on the one side, and then it's just copying it. And I've also thought about, like, you know, you don't just have to do it on one axis, you know, like vertically, because that's it. Every single one I've done so far is vertical. And I've been thinking that, like, you could, like, do one, flip it, and then maybe do more on that at a different axis, and then flip that. Or try and do multiple axis flips and see what kind of images you get. Like, basically, like, doing your own kind of, what are they called, mandalas or whatever. And like, I've seen people that can do a circular mandala and like totally freehand it, and it looks perfectly circular and it looks perfectly symmetrical in places. There are people that can do it, you know. That's one of the reasons why I don't like the idea of using a maul or anything like this. I like the idea of just being like, no, your shoulder is sore because you are not good enough. You know, like that kind of thing. Like, should push yourself. Don't get me wrong, tools are useful and all, but don't make your job too easy. Yes, work smarter, not harder, but that doesn't mean don't work hard. Like when you're exercising, like, you know what I mean? Like, if you just exercise with the mentality of, like, you know, kind of, oh, I'll just do some of these and then I'll do some of those, and like, you know what I mean? Oh, it's been 20 minutes. Like, you know what I mean? That's not working out. You want to be sore, dripping sweat, to the point where, like, you can see it on the floor. Like, you know what I mean? Like, those are my favorite kind of exercise. Like, when I get really into a workout and I'm doing pull-ups and dips and it's a nice day and I'm outside, I still get some decent workouts when I'm just in the kitchen with the barbell, but the really good ones for me personally are the calisthenic ones, plus the kind of like weighted ones, where I can bring the weights out to the back garden and I can get on the pull-up bar and I can do slow deep stretch pull-ups and slow deep stretch dips, and then knee raises and crunches and all these things, and then pick up the barbell and start doing lunges. Because then, like, you hit your core, you hit your shoulders, you hit your back, you hit your arms, you hit your quads, you hit your calves, you hit your glutes, a whole lot in like an hour. And I'm like dripping sweat at the end of it. Like, and I haven't done that in probably a few months now, and I could feel it, you know. It's so important. And I'm such a lazy bitch sometimes when it comes to, like, oh, it's too cold, oh, it's raining, I don't want to have to put like a load of gear on, you know, and I make excuses. I'm like, yeah, but like, I don't want to overheat, which sometimes is like a worry of mine. It was for a while there. I used to get these weird, like, don't even know how to describe it really. It was like I'd hit a nerve sometimes if I was breathing, or if I overheated, and like my fucking, it would feel like my heart rate skyrocketed but it's not actually my heart rate. It's like a muscle cluster in my back that sometimes just like clicks, like triggers, and it starts like, I basically have like a muscle spasm around my, like, on my back and my front where my left lung would be. And because it starts spasming in that spot, and because it's close to my chest, when it first started happening, I was like, fuck, am I having like mini heart attacks or some shit? But the weird thing was, when I would like first couple of times it started happening, I was like, oh, my heart rate is like skyrocketing. So I would try to slow it down, and I'd like, you know, squat, and I'd like inhale, exhale, try to control my breathing. And then there would come a point, almost always on an inhale, sometimes on an exhale, but almost always on an inhale, where I'd be inhaling, just like, and there would come a point near the end of the inhale where it would just stop immediately, like somebody flicked a switch, and then I'm like, okay, so that's not my heart. You know, like if I can inhale and like turn it off, and it happened like a few times over the last few years. Just be out walking in a shop sometime, and it'd just be like, boom, did it, and I'd be like, oh shit, and I'd start to get lightheaded, and I'd start to like get all these like weird feelings, and I was like, oh shit, like I'm having like a panic attack or a heart attack or whatever. But like I'm fairly sure what was happening is they're just like, because I have had sciatica for years, I've got back problems and stuff, I've got like a bulging disc and all this shit. I'm convinced there's a spot, there's like a cluster of like muscles or nerves or whatever about halfway down my back that just keeps like spasming, and it makes perfect sense because that twitch doesn't trigger when I am regularly doing my qigong and doing deep stretches and breathing and meditating and working out and drinking plenty of water and all that shit. It doesn't happen. When I stop doing that shit and I'm more lazy and my posture is poor from like, you know, sitting down a lot and all, like, that's when it happens. And that's another thing I noticed as well, is it typically happened when I was kind of like, you know, hunched over and then taking a breath. It would like trigger. So these factors, and like most people would be like, and money is a factor as well, I have to admit, because a long time ago I was like, fuck that, doctors are too expensive, I'm not spending €60 just to get told some bullshit. So I was kind of already used to it at that stage. But that's why I self-diagnose all the time. Now, I could be completely wrong, but like the combination, I think, of just trying to be disciplined in my emotional state and then trying to keep like the fundamentals of like clean eating, regular exercise, decent sleep, and then like correct circadian rhythm, as in like, you know, go to bed when the sun goes down, get up when the sun comes up, don't be like a night owl, like I fucking do it all the time, be up till like 7 o'clock in the fucking morning and then sleep through the whole fucking day. Like, I don't think that's good for you. Like, you can do it, but like you shouldn't be doing it. Definitely don't do it like a few days in a row. You could probably get away with it once a week and like it'll never really affect you, but like definitely don't stay up, don't pull a night shift just to play Bloodborne 3 or 4 days in a row. Don't do it. It's not okay. Don't do it. Listen to me, don't do it. Like, it's not good feeling. I don't think health is as, like, I think cancer's a scam. I really do. Like, I think most shit is a scam. I think you'll feel something or notice something about your body that you get worried about, and then you go see an expert, in quotes, and then they tell you like, oh no, you've got the, it's like a mechanic, like, do you know, oh, I don't know, we're gonna have to rip all that out, it's gonna cost a lot of money, man. It's no different. Your mind is incredibly powerful. Incredibly powerful. Remember that. Look good, like feel good, look good, be good, you know. Literally love your body, love yourself. If you're the type of person to be like, oh, I hate my, you know, it's like, it's obviously more prominent in women, but like you do see men like that, especially nowadays, I just wish my chest was a bit bigger. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, even that critiquing of your own, like, aesthetics and stuff, like, even that is like a small seed that can lead to, like, really negative compulsive behavior that can drastically affect your health, you know? Just accept what you are and optimize what you are. We feed the raccoons and the foxes. Oh man, I'd love that. Just feeding raccoons like they're pigeons. It'd be so cool. When I went to my ma's for Christmas, and I was in the train station in Dublin, and there's just pigeons everywhere. I don't see pigeons often, like, so when I see pigeons, like, I just can't stop laughing at them. They're so funny, like. I think that's where my love of derp and derpy looking, like, retarded looking shit. I think my love of retarded looking shit came from pigeons, cause like I fucking love pigeons, man. They're such a funny, fascinating, like, they can, like, I think they're kind of cute and they sound hilarious. You know, like the fluttering they do and all, like, so, like, the way they walk around, like, like, I just sat there for, like, I was like 45 minutes early from my train, and I had a cigarette, and then I went in and I just sat on a bench looking at pigeons, and I had a great time. Like, some of them had fucked up feet, some of them had, like, and then had a limp as a result. Like, some of them are beautiful looking with all these, like, patterns and, like, you know, all these, like, navies and greens with the whites and the blacks and shit, like, you know, like. And then, like, some of them act a little bit more intelligent than the other ones. Like, some of them look so fucking vacant. Like, there's literally nothing there. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing in that head. Like, and then some of them look like they have a mission. Do you know what I mean? Like, they have an agenda about them. Like, and it's not just my imagination. I know it's not. Like, it's not me just imprinting all of this shit. Like, it's me noticing. That's what it is, like, you know? I'm paying attention. Like, being the silent witness to shit is so important, you know? Don't be so quick to, like, judge or give opinion or to, like, make an assessment of the reality of the situation. Just pay attention. And just watch and listen and, like, feel what happens. And, like, you'd be surprised how much you can learn by just paying attention. The Simpsons episode where Barney wins the all-expense-paid Duffman experience was hilarious. That's just drink talk. Sweet, sweet drunk talk. Or that's just drunk talk. Sweet, sweet drunk talk. I don't remember. Like, I remember Duffman. So funny. Duffman! Oh man, The Simpsons had some great ones. Duffman! And he had, like, the belt of beer on him and all, like, and he was like a wrestler, like, he's huge and ripped, like, Duffman! I fucking love that shit, like, the shades and all, like, so funny. Like, Duffman is, like, you can tell when you see Zach Brannigan in Futurama, he's like, Captain Brannigan, like, do you know what I mean? Like, fucking, I love Captain Brannigan. You can tell that, like, they have, like, they're like the same character. With the whole, like, the way he stands with his pecs out and all, like, you know, I'm the captain of the ship. Like, I fucking, I love that character. Captain Brannigan of Futurama is so fucking funny. What's his helper's name? Is it Kip or Kim? Is it Kip? I can't remember. Like, it's such a funny dynamic. Tell the men I have made. Let the men know I have made love with a woman. I know it's a piss taking James T. Kirk, but that's what it looks like to me. It's like somebody took Duffman and then, like, fused him with James Kirk. Captain Brannigan. It's fucking It's one of the best characters going. Captain Brannigan from Futurama. So fucking funny, like. You want more, don't you, Leela? I can see it in your eye. Oh man, this show's fucking hilarious. I fucking love that nibbler thing. They find him on that planet and they put him in the fucking they put him in the ark, like in the ship with all the other creatures, like, and then they come back and all the other creatures are dead except fucking Nibbler and one other thing, and they're like, what the hell happened here? And Nibbler just fucking swallows the last thing whole, and Layla's just like, Nibbler, why would you do that? Like, it's the thing just fucking ate everything in the room. Like, it's like this size. It's like so dangerous. Get the fuck rid of it. Like, and then it shits antimatter. It shits this like little ball that weighs like, it weighs like a metric ton, and it's so dense. It's just this little black ball. And it kind of makes sense, like, do you know what I mean? If something this small is eating things like way bigger than it, like, it would have to like it would have to make its shit would be really dense. That's what I love about cartoons, man. You just run with an idea, and you're like, okay, well, if this, then that, and like the shit you end up with is so fucking funny. Oh, it's brilliant. That's why everybody knows that, like, the entertainment industry, like, the last, like, 20 years, like, definitely the last 10 would be generous. Would be generous. The entertainment industry the last 10 years is just so fucking lazy and corrupt, and, like, it's just propaganda, you know? It's not entertainment, it's propaganda, like, and I know entertainment means to, you know, hold the mind or whatever, like, you know, like, one could argue that entertainment means to distract you, to keep your attention, to do something to your consciousness, with or without you knowing or whatever. Like, I get it. But for the sake of just communication being understood, entertainment is what we use for, like, decompression and fun and shit, like, you know. You get home from a hard day's work and then you turn on the Comedy Channel and they're all faggots that won't say nigger. You know the world's fucked. PEINTEINGU. PEINTEINGU. The mandala effect. Yeah, definitely. There's something to that, like, because if you look at a mandala for long enough, like, you know, it's one of those things where you can get lost in it, like. Or maybe even, like, if you can do a mandala that's intricate and geometrically shaped in such a way that you would look at, so, like, no matter how many times you look at it, you always see something new, and it would, like, fuck with your head. You know, you'd be like, oh, I never noticed that bit there, and I've seen this mandala like 10,000 times now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's, I think it's one of the reasons why I like I like being like I did that painting with the starfish and the bumblebee, and it's like kind of funny or whatever. It's very basic, but it's like I can do a painting goo. I could do a painting goo in one episode, but I like. Remember, like Castle Liechtenstein was like 12 episodes, and I know it was like chaotic and kind of shit looking. The castle's shit looking, like, but I love like doing an image that like tells a story. Like I've said that before, where like I'd love to be able to do the fucking the guys that used to work for like Games Workshop and shit, or still work for Games Workshop and stuff, where I do these like huge battle scenes that would be quite widescreen, I suppose, though I'd have to do it like, you know, landscape or whatever. But it's got like a dreadnought in the background ripping through a lot of dudes with a minigun. It's holding one guy up like an orc or some shit, about to tear him apart, like, and then there's like, you know, a whole mid-ground section where there's a ton of dudes fighting and there's loads of different things going on. Like there's a guy about to get his head cleaved in with an axe. There's another dude like firing up on another guy, and there's a guy with a shotgun standing on a guy and all, like, and then in the foreground there's like two dudes who are like in intense melee combat, like, and it's all just there. And like the level of detail, even in the background, like you'd look at the background and there's like intricate faded, like low resolution, but still like it's fuzzy and low res because it's in the background. But when you like zoom in and you look at the image, it's still intricate buildings and like topography, like, you know, sections of the map and stuff, like the way they do that, like they do the whole horizon, like everything your eye would see if you were there, you know, the distant storm clouds and shit. Like it's fucking intense looking. There's like a great satisfaction that comes from spending an extended amount of time on a particular thing and then finally stepping back and being like, yeah, now it's done, you know. But there is also, it's one like when I was doing my symmetricals, there's also a different type of satisfaction where you have like when I have a symmetrical drawn out or some shit, and then I have one block color, and I'm using the sign writing paintbrushes. There's a different satisfaction with the whole pinstriping thing of like filling in a whole section with clear block color cleanly and like executing it in a single brush stroke. Incredibly satisfying, you know. But it's totally different thing when like you spend hours and hours and hours like layering and like sometimes completely changing sections and then layering again, like, and then you're finally presented with this whole thing. It's more comparable to like, you know, carving or something, where like you start off with a chainsaw and then you get the chisels out, and then the next thing you know, you're like, you know, fucking doing tiny little things with like little bits of sandpaper and stuff to get some just texture on the eyes or some shite, like, you know. Takes them 3 months to do this fucking thing, sells it for 10 grand, like, you know. Like, I know I could do that with my symmetricals, you know, given the right effort and practice and shit. I could do a symmetrical on a wall, or I could do it on a big canvas, or even a small one that somebody would be like, oh yeah, give me that, I want to put that on my wall, because people have done it, you know. But I've become so happily distracted by this over the past year that I have neglected. I've said it already, I've said it multiple times, I've neglected the other part of my stuff. I'm still doing it slowly in the background, like, you know, it's like buffering slowly in the background, like it is literally like a computer where I've like too many programs running and the CPU can't dedicate. It's like, we've only got so many power left in the shields, Captain. I need more power in the phasers. It's like, then we won't have any shields, Captain, we'll be vulnerable. Like, it's literally like that, like trying to divert sections of your energy. It's like, I need to do this for 3 hours, I need to do this for 3 hours, I need to do this for 3 hours, like this for an hour. Okay, this I can do in 20 minutes so I can move it around, you know, like, it's fucking mad, like. I have 2 mortal animal enemies, pigeons and goats. What the fuck? Okay, I'm gonna investigate that in a second, hold on. Like, what the fuck? I have questions. I'm now in the best shape I've been in since I was first married. I almost got a 6-pack again. Hard work pays off. I get after it every morning. Yeah, like, it's just really important to like beat yourself up a little in a healthy way. Like, it's a good way to describe it, is get after it, like attack it, you know, especially if, like when you're coming at it from a man's perspective. That's why I like that thing that Racoon said years ago, conquer your inner bitch. That voice in your head that's like, oh, I don't want to get out of bed. It's like, shut the fuck up, you have work to do. You know, like, but it can't be too intense. It can't be a tyrant, you know, like, cause then you'll tell it to fuck off, you know. Cause I've done that. I've had a voice in my head that's like, get up, you fucking shitbag. You have work to do, like, you know, you lazy, ungrateful cocksucker. You fag, get out of bed. And I'm like, okay. But if you do it too hard for too long, giggity, you'll end up resenting that voice. You'll end up being like, fuck off, I'm sick of this shit, like, do you know what I mean? So like, you're better off with like a more paternal, like, encouraging, disciplined, simply stoic version of just like, you have to do this, you should do this, it's good, it's the right thing to do, it's good to do this. Because then it kind of like, it still shames you into action, but in a good way. It convinces you that it's the right thing to do, versus simply just making you do it because, you know, or making you feel inferior for not wanting to do it or whatever, like, you know. Especially for guys like me who didn't have a father past 14, like I did and I didn't, you know, after the divorce. Owen's so right. You have a void in your life where like you end up looking to other people and places to fill that void because you need some kind of guiding light or force. I didn't have one for years other than like my own like intuition and shit. And then I kind of looked towards like my friends for certain things, and that was like the worst thing to do because they were even more broken than me in various ways. The thing that ended up working for me was God and faith, but not in a religious sense. It was more like just the concept of faith, just faith. Instead of hiding behind logic and being a pessimist and a nihilist, because it's like cold, pessimistic logic. I now think with the infinite potential logic, the infinite probability logic, you know, because that's what it used to be like. Is like I used to look at the dark and be like, well, of course everything's shit, like, you know, because it's shit. Like the real, like, the wild is gruesome and horrible and terrifying and dark and cold and mean and unfair and all these fucking things. It's like, it's a real victim-y, weak way to look at things, like, you know. It comes from trauma, you know. Like, fucking, again, Owen's right. It comes from being hurt and feeling vulnerable as a result of being hurt. So you need to put up these walls and defenses so that shit can't hurt you again. But that's actually the weak way of going about it. Instead, what you should just keep allowing yourself to be hurt, because then you like develop a resistance, that like you develop that callus, but in a healthy callus. Do you know what I mean? Instead of just putting up a shield, because if you put up a shield, what happens when the shield goes down? You're like just as vulnerable as you were before you put up the shield. But if you actually build up an anti-fragile resistance, if you learn how to be hurt, instead of just being like, I don't want to be hurt. No, learn how to be hurt and it be a good thing, is like the way to go about it. Be like water, my friend. Like, if it has to go through you, let it go through you. If it has to go, like, if like water can be hard as rock or as soft as, you know, sand and shit. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, depending on the situation. That's why discernment is so important. Like, you know, deciding in the moment, should I be firm here, or should I be, should I be accepting? You know, because there are times where you're like, no, and it's the right thing to do. But then there's other times where you're like, I don't like the idea that I have to accept this. And it's like, yes, but the strong position is to just let it flow over you. You know? Like those moments where it's like, if you move, like the gum jabbar in Dune, the point is to not react. You know, those are the, like, there's moments like where you have to react, where you're like, no, where you have to cut the dude's head off. You have to block, counterattack. You have to move. You have to do something. There's also moments where doing something's actually going to be the thing that gets you killed. So you just have to sit. And that takes discipline too. Because you'll want to react. You'll be like, but I have to do something. It's like, no, if you try to do something right now, we're all dead. Hold. You know? It's knowing when to move and when to not move. When to be the unstoppable force and when to be the immovable object. That's why people respect Owen. He, you know, in a moment in time was like, I am not being moved on this. That is wrong. And you can't tell me otherwise. He became the immovable object, you know. But these days, he's more of the unstoppable force. You can't stop him from being on YouTube because other people will bring him on, you know. He will, like, fucking love finds a way, good finds a way, truth finds a way. You cannot, you can keep it at bay, but only for so long, just like water, you know. You can build a dam, you can use it, all that shit, like, but someday, if you don't maintain that shit, and if you don't, like, constantly fucking keep an eye on that stuff and all blah blah, like, you know, one day it will overwhelm you. And that's what, like, that's how you get a world like that, is like all of these deniers. It's like, no, like, we're God. We could, like, you know, we don't have to do these things. We can just use our technology to, like, you know, create a lot of loopholes. It's the loophole shit, like. I don't believe you. I don't believe I have to. You know? And they're always wrong. That's right, Margie. Yeah. You need to do shit to keep your bones strong too, yeah. That's why it's so important for males to, like, do martial arts or, like, contact sports or something. Males are designed to hit shit hard and then recover. Lifting heavy shit. Like, fucking, you know, swinging shit, like, you know, like, chopping wood, great for you. Carrying water, great for you. Like, it's so funny the way that works, like. That's why I love, walking and getting the groceries. Because sometimes I have, like, easily, like, 10 or 12 kilos in each hand. Between, like, I'll have, like, a 5-litre bottle of water. Big thing of water. That's, like, what, 1.5 gallons of water for you guys. Because it's, like, 3 litres or something, isn't it? So, like, 5 litres, 1.5 gallons in my left hand. With a shopping bag that has, like, 6 kilos of potatoes in it or some shit like that, plus a couple of other bits, maybe some tins and stuff, and then I have another bag in my right hand that's, like, you know, fucking cheese, bacon, more tins, sauces, like, other shit and all, like, and I'll, like, put the heavier bag in on my right hand, like, you know, because I'm right-handed, and I have to walk, it's probably about 400-500 meters with under, like, on average, probably just under 20 kilos. Which is not heavy. Like, if you're just lifting it up and putting it down, it's not heavy. But if you lift it up, and you hold it, and you walk for a couple of 100 meters, that's a workout. It's definitely part of a workout, like. Like I've done that before where I time my workout where I'm like, okay, I'll go get the groceries and when I come back I'll do my workout. Cause I'll already be a bit warmed up from like holding that weight, like. Obviously there's times I go to shops and I just come back with a 2 litre of milk and I don't get a workout, you know. But the times where I have to do a proper shop, I'm like, yeah. Like I go get shit. Like so, I've done it where like I actually fucked myself over one time. Where these days I get the 5 litre, the big bottle. I used to get 6 2 litres, but they used to have a handle on all of them. Like the plastic would cover the whole lot of them, and you get a handle. And I'd carry that home. But then they got rid of the fucking handle for some reason. So a few times what I did was I was like, fuck it, and I just like put 12 litres of water on my shoulder and then a shopping bag in the other, and then like just walked home. By the time I got back, my fucking left trap was killing me from like holding all, because the water's like moving like as you're walking, like, do you know what I mean? My left trap was fucking killing me by the time I got back, because like I'm kind of used to like, you know, just carrying shit. But I'm not used to like holding something up here for like a prolonged period of time. So like it was almost like I got there was like a small muscle at the base of the back of my trap here that like proper locked up. Like I went to failure on that like small muscle that connects the neck to the like the shoulder and shit. Like that one muscle group there got totally butchered in about like in a 15-minute walk. Like I got back, my arm was in bits. That was hilarious. Like that's what I love about exercising though, is like you don't like, you think it's like, oh, I have to go to the gym and lift heavy weights. It's like, nah, you'd be surprised. Like you could like just, I love that scene from The Punisher. It's like, you look like you work out. Do you ever do resistance training or whatever? Like, and it's like 5 pounds doesn't seem like a lot, but you hold it out with an outstretched hand for 5 minutes. You just hold a weight. Just hold it there, like, you know. That's why I love horse stance so much. If you can hold a proper horse stance for a full 5 minutes, you're probably fairly fit, you know. It's not easy. It's really like your fucking thighs parallel to the floor, a deep squat with your hands fully out. Some Malaysian prisons use the horse stance as a punishment. They'll tell you to fucking squat. They just call it the squats. They'll tell you to squat for like, you know, 2 hours or something. And like fucking 5-10 minutes in, the dude's like shaking all over the place, like, you know, because like most people don't do that kind of. Most people don't train martial arts, you know. And martial arts, if you train martial arts regularly for years, you're a totally different human being to most human beings, physically and mentally. Your pain tolerance, your peripheral like threat recognition, your ability to react to things, your accuracy with like your grace and accuracy with your limbs, the ability to generate power from certain awkward angles and stuff. Like, people who train martial arts are just typically far physically superior, you know. You don't have to like work out in the gym, you don't have to fucking do all this other stuff. You could just do some Shaolin forms or like training regimes, and like that'll fuck your shit up all day. Horse stance for 5 minutes, handstand for 5 minutes, box splits for 5 minutes. So you'd be in fucking bits. You feel like you're got the shit kicked out of you. Like, used to love kickboxing training. Like a guy would hold a pad above his head. He'd be like, kick this, and like you'd nearly fucking pull a hamstring trying to kick the thing the first time, like, you know. You're like, ugh! But then a couple of weeks in, you're able to kick it like a few times before your leg starts to get tired. And then it's like they make you just keep kicking it and keep kicking it and keep kicking it, and it's like, oh, like you can't even get your leg up there, like, you know. You can't even get it to the right angle and to extend the foot. Your whole body, never mind your fucking leg, is like totally tired, and they're just screaming at you like, kick the pad, kick it. Like, I love that scene in Kickboxer where he's like, you want me to kick the tree? I'll break my leg. And he's like, kick the tree. but I'll hurt myself. And he's like, you remember your brother? Kick the tree. Like, he's just like, kicking the tree. Tree finally snaps, and he immediately just like falls to the ground in excruciating pain, clutching his leg, and his shin is just like covered in blood. Like, you want to know pain? Go train Muay Thai in Thailand. Your understanding of pain will like completely change. I did Thai boxing for like a year, you know. It's fucking intense. Like, I didn't even do that much of it. Like, and fucking the shit you learn about yourself and about different styles of punching and kicking, and like using, because typically other martial arts don't make as much use, or if at all, knees and elbows and headbutts and stuff. And like, Jesus Christ, when you clash shin to shin with someone, oh my god, oof, you don't get used to that. Like, you do, but you don't. It's never not gonna hurt like a bitch. I had a pet goat. He was so cool. I had a German Shepherd too. They played together. That's hilarious. And I needed a place cleaned out. Put the goat there. Yeah, they fucking just eat everything. You were in hospital for 51 days? What was that for? And during that time, Billy gave my goat away. It just sounds hilarious because the whole Billy goat thing. Billy gave my goat. Is that like your fucking husband sold your goat while you were in hospital? The nerve. Oh yeah, I still have questions about this. I have two mortal animal enemies, pigeons and goats. What the fuck did pigeons and goats do to you, Stabaru? What the fuck? Like, what do you got against pigeons and goats? The Amazonian women. The spirit willing, but the body is broken and weak. Snoo. Man, I love Simpsons and Futurama. Is a fucking like, they're hilarious. They're really funny. If you've got a good sense of humor, Simpsons and Futurama is like really fucking funny. There can be a bit of filler and like stupid stuff where you're like, nah, but typically very funny. A doctor could have fixed my pinched spine if I didn't have weak bones. Start lifting some heavy weights. How funny would it be if like Margie was like, 3 years ago I was just like every other old lady. I've been doing deadlifts and squats and bench presses and this stuff called creatine for 14 months now. It's just like, like, it's so strange looking when you see some of those like Chinese old women who are like jacked. Like, you're like, what the fuck? Oh man, it's so funny. Like, it is fascinating to see what the human body is capable of, but at the same time, I really don't agree with the whole. Like, sure, I've heard creatine is okay, and I've heard was it creatine and creatine and whey protein and stuff like that. Like, you know, like basic supplements are like totally fine. You know, totally healthy, totally improve performance, all this shit. But like, oh, excuse me. Most of it is such bullshit. You will get all the benefits. If I just know it's a reality, right? That if you exercise regularly and you exercise correctly, you can literally you could go to McDonald's and just chow down at McDonald's, and your body will absorb what it needs from that, and you will build muscle, and you will have like a healthy amount of fat because you're burning the other shit off. You know, that's how you get these guys who are like in the Olympics and they they get up and they get like the morning of the race that like is, you know, career dictating. They will go to McDonald's, get a nine piece of chicken nuggets, and then wash it down with Gatorade and Skittles, and then go win a gold medal. You know, like, like it's not what most people think it is. Like, do you know what I mean? That's why I think like it's more about your mind. Your mind is incredibly powerful. If you're just like, I've got this, you'd be surprised how well that works. Like, there's a big difference between self-confidence and arrogance. You know, like if you just believe in your ability to do something versus just being a know-it-all arrogant dickhead about shit, like, you know, huge difference. Like, I've been accused, my best friend once accused me of being arrogant because I won at beer pong. And like, not only was I like steaming drunk, but like the way I was behaving was like, I was just in flow, I was just in the moment. And like my other best mate at the time was on the team with me, so every time I was like, and just threw the ball like nonchalantly and it went in and we scored, he was like, "You fucking legend!" It was like picking me up and shit and all, like, you know, and I just kept sinking them. But I was just like totally locked off my head, like dancing to the music and shit. Like, I was like, "Oh, it's my turn." Whip. You know, it drove my friend fucking nuts. He was like, "You're a fucking dickhead," like, cause like as far as he was concerned, I was like fronting and making a mockery of him. I was just enjoying the game. I was just having a great time with my friends and the people at the house party, crushing beer pong, you know. And he was like, "You're so arrogant. I'm never playing beer pong with you again." I couldn't stop laughing. I was like, "You?" And like, oh well, of course it makes sense because he's the hyper competitive one, like, you know. But like, I just thought it was so funny. Like, oh, talk about a buzzkill. Well, I suppose it didn't kill my buzz because I just started laughing at it.
Broadband for just $34.99 a month for 12 months.
Fuck you and your shit. Even though that's the internet provider I use. My husky is keeping an eye on the mousetrap. I'm talking to her now, so now she knows what those little things are called. Oh, seriously. I got headbutted to the ground because my friend's goat wanted the dog biscuits. Bloody thing rolled over me to get through the door. That just means you're a bitch who couldn't even take on a goat. Fucking Canadians hating on the goat just because the goat's an absolute chad and they can take out a 6'1", 250-pound Canadian. The goat was the better man that day, just admit it, Stabber. You did kickboxing, Margie? That's so cool. I did kickboxing and lifted heavy things. It's brilliant. I don't like being a perfectionist. No, yeah. It's... being a perfectionist is retarded because you have no concept of what perfection is. You can only strive towards the concept of perfection. So, if it's good enough, then it's good enough. That's why I have several paintings that I haven't signed. Seems like they could be better. No, yeah, like, just fucking finish them. Just finish them. Don't get me wrong, it can be a fucking... Like, I literally have a painting sitting there that I was halfway through, was nearly done with it, and then I smashed it to pieces because I had a bitch fit. And another one I like tore in half. So I had to get another canvas to start it again, and I'm like less than halfway through it again this time. So like I just made it like a whole load more work for myself, like. But I forced myself to redo Japanese police ostriches. Jesus Christ, they say that 10 times quickly. Japanese police ostriches. Ostriches. I forced myself to do that again, and it came out great. So I'm forcing myself to do the symmetrical again. But it's hard. It's hard, like, because you're still, like... as an artist, you want to maintain the flow. You want to maintain the flow of creative energy. So if you get stuck on something, it's frustrating to be like, okay, I need to finish this. But like sometimes when it takes too long and everything else starts slowing down because of this one thing, you don't want to let everything stop because of one thing. So you keep everything else going, and then that one thing is the thing that gets left behind and stops. So then you have to like make a conscious effort to be like, no, I have to finish that, you know. So you have to make room for it then, and all this shit, like, it becomes a thing. Pain in the fucking ring, but 'tis life. My teacher got to spar with Chuck Norris. No way, that's awesome. I could just imagine the really hairy, like, all the dudes with like mullets and mustaches and stuff that you must have trained with back in the day, like proper 80s kung fu would have been awesome. Do you do karate? Like, it is karate. 51 days with broken. Oh, you broke your back. Ugh. I think you told me about this before, did you? Oh, so like, yeah, he had to still like run the stuff while you were in hospital for over a month. Some of my humor is inspired by Futurama, but my female no Reiki future. Yeah, like, I can't believe your female doesn't like Futurama. Like, what the fuck, like I kind of get it. I get why some people would not like Futurama. But I love it. I love Bender. I love Captain Brannigan. I love Zoidberg. I love the Professor. Professor's hilarious. I think Fry is one of my least favorite characters. Like, Fry is a total fucking bumbling, like, pathetic retard. He's an absolute loser. Bender's hilarious. Bender is fucking hilarious. The concept of Bender is hilarious. An alcoholic robot. Like, it's so funny. Zoidberg is hilarious. And Captain Brannigan's hilarious. And then there's like really, really, really funny themes in some of the episodes. Like the Snoo Snoo episode. Just these fucking 10-foot tall, huge, thick warrior women. We want men for Snoo Snoo. Like, what? And you just see these skeletons on the walls. What happened to those guys? Death by crushed pelvises. They're like, what the fuck? So funny. It's so funny. Billy had to go 50 miles west to work, come back, take care of animals, go east 138 miles to see me, then come home. Jesus Christ! That's mad. You do what you gotta do, though. That's why you gave my goat to a friend. Later, a bobcat got the go. Oh my god, it's tragic. It's such a tragic story, Margie. Funny enough, when I first started getting into fitness and was fat, my friend at the time and I would pig out on Taco Bell after the gym, and it really helped my initial gains. Yeah, like, it's called dirty carbs. That's why you fucking all the strong men do it. Well, not all. I can't say all of them do it, but a lot of strong men do that, where they fill out their caloric, their necessary caloric intake to gain the mass that they need to gain. They'll crush it in the gym, and then just eat, like, they'll get a tub of melted ice cream and just drink it. Like, you know, like, most people be like, oh my god, it's so bad for you. It's like, yeah, you think that it's bad for you if you do that all the time and you never exercise. But if you actually eliminate all the toxins and waste from all of those calories and that mass that you're consuming, then it's actually not that bad, you know. But you just have to, like, you have to actually work it off, you know. It's hilarious. It's hilarious, like, how true it is, because you see all these people who are like, I'm on a diet, I won't eat this, I won't eat that, and then the people who actually do badass physical things, like lift huge weights, can do a 360 fucking corkscrew backflip into a fucking tornado kick and land it every time. They can eat whatever the fuck they want because like all food is to them is fuel, which that is all food is. Seeing food as a thing you enjoy is an indulgence. That's the truth of the matter. Food should be viewed as just what it is, sustenance. You need it to keep going, as far as we know. That might not be true. I mean, like, to very well be fucking, like, the whole surviving off the sun and shit like that. Like, I don't know, like, what was it, monoatomic gold, all that shit. The real truther stuff. Like, the deep, heavy stuff. Like, the rabbit holes that are, like, not as frequently traveled. Like drinking your own piss. Like, well, that's pretty mainstream, actually. Like, okay, mousetrap in hand. Head is in the trap and it's kicking. Gotta take a picture. Oh my god, you cruel human being, Margie. Poor thing's still alive, and you're like, it's like propaganda for the other mice. This is what will become of you. Like, you fucking take screenshots of it and put it up all over the barn. This is a warning to other mice. Your husky's trying to eat it. Oh, Jesus. My wife's pet name for me is Smizmar. She loves that shoe. What? Show? I'm there like reading the thing. I'm like, your wife names you after a brand of shoe? As if being Canadian wasn't emasculating enough. Your wife named you after a favorite shoe? Oh Christ. Smizmar. What show is that? Smizmar? What the fuck? My children were young when I took kickboxing, and I practiced on them. Oh god. Oh fucking hell. Ma, can I go outside? Hiya! Like, just fucking karate chop the kid in the neck. Like, James, have you done your homework? No, I'll do it later. I'm playing Pong. Hey, Usa! like you're breaking boards. Kid's just sitting there playing the Sega, and you're just like, Oos! Like, fucking Mom, what the fuck? Your kid's going to school with black eyes and bruised ribs. Like, bro, what happened to you? I told my mom that I'd do it in a minute because I was playing Tetris. She fucking tornado kicked me in the head. Like, oh, that's hilarious. Smizmar is from Futurama, when Kif and Amy got hitched. Oh, no way. So your missus loves Futurama. That's hilarious. Your missus has an excellent sense of humor, so I mean, she must, if she like is okay with being with a Canadian. She must have an excellent sense of humor. Yeah, like the idea, like just picturing you younger in the 80s and shit, like karate chopping one of your kids. He like comes home and he's like, why can I smell cigarettes on you? Hiya! 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 Go to bed, Mom, please. Hiya! Like, your husband's just sitting there reading the newspaper. Do what your mother tells you, she'll kick your ass. Oh fuck. Yeah, it's what Kif calls Amy Smizmar. She is a romantic. That's hilarious. She calls you Smizmar. Oh, that's adorable. Oh, Christ. Painting. Goo. Goo. Painting. This playlist is chill as fuck, but it's also like weirdly dark groove. I like it. I'm a really big fan of that dark house music. The like sinister fucking tones and fucking. There's this fucking. I've probably said this before. Almost assuredly said this before. But there's something like this, similar to this. Like this is kind of dark. It's kind of mean. It's kind of sinister. Like, you know. There's a, when you're playing Hitman, there's a level in Germany, and there's this industrial estate, and they've emptied out like an old industrial building, and there's levels to it, and hell is like at the bottom or something, or is it that one? Okay, I think there is themes, but there's they've done that a few times in Hitman, where there's like the hell club is at the bottom and the heaven club is at the top, but the bottom club in that level, the fucking tunes playing when you go into that place, he's like, you're walking down the stairs into the crowd, and there's like, it's real dark, and there's all these red lasers going everywhere, and like the beat drops, and there's loads of smoke going all over the place, like, and there's just people in their underwear, like, just fucking, like, it's fucking really cool. It's really cool. And the fact that you're there, like, as a hitman to, like, you know, predatorily hunt out like 8 guys in the fucking whole place, like, it's the missions in that game, some of them are deadly, like the atmosphere off them is fucking really cool, like. This music makes me want to sneak into a military base in a cardboard box. Yeah! But it reminded me of Hitman, like, the whole idea of being on the prowl and going through a nightclub, and like everybody else is just there enjoying the shit, like, but you're like sifting through the crowd like a fucking tiger, and then you're like, there he is. And then you just like make your like start. It's called edge walking. You know, you just start slowly edge walking towards your target through the crowd, like with a nice silenced 9mm. Like, I think the ballers are supposed to be silenced 45s. I can't remember. I think originally they were like 1911s. They were custom 1911s. So that would make them 45s, wouldn't it? Or was the 1911 a 9mm? I can't remember. Wasn't there both? Wasn't there a 9mm and a 45 version of the 1911? I take the 45. I know the 9mm good enough, but like, you know, 45 bigger.
You'll be hearing things about blood sacrifice, death, occultic symbols, the upside down cross, possession, distorted faces, darkness. All these things are involved in satanic worship.
trying to make the eye look shiny but not dirty. Nah. No. Makes it look like a bug.
Now pay attention again to the beat of the drums, and then listen as the song starts to tail off. You begin to hear screams in the background, which is a symbolism of people becoming possessed as it's being sung.
Right, my beloved Japanites. I wanted to do a Ritter Ronger today, and I have done. But I must do other stuff, and my ass is numb from sitting on a stool. So, I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, do. And if you haven't, remember to pay for PEINTEINGU, or you have no honor. Your family and your ancestors will look upon you with great shame. So, be sure to thrash the right button, like it has insulted your ancestors. Be good to your ancestors, and pay for PEINTEINGU. Quick, one of the many links in the description, and how dare you interrupt my outro, you fucking pear bitch! Right, I will love you and review, my beloved Japanites. I shall return, Monday, but remember, you only get me to Wednesday next week. And then I'm fucking off to Portugal for 8 days, methinks, with the female. So, have a glorious weekend. Remember, be good, be true, and be beautiful. But above all else, pay for PEINTEINGU! And I shall see you soon. I'll wait till it kicks in. Go. Paint. We'll see you later. Oh, so good.